Welcome back to the stage, everyone. I am very, very excited to welcome our next three guests from an incredible organization, which I'm super excited to learn so much more about today. So I would love to welcome Gail, Christina, and Heather. They are from Open Arms Patient Advocacy Society. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. So thank you to the Cochrane team for organizing this weekend and these presentations. We are excited to introduce our organization and share our volunteer opportunities. I'm the board chair for Open Arms Patient Advocacy Society, and I've been board chair since the fall of 2019, but I'm still always learning in this role. I will introduce Open Arms as an organization. Coordinator Gail Nolan will discuss the volunteer experience that one would get with Open Arms and current openings. And Heather Templeton, our advocacy director, will share information on our volunteer advocates. So to start out, what is our organization? So Gail, you can switch it to the next. Thank you. So Open Arms Patient Advocacy Society is a nonprofit organization that provides free patient advocacy services to Albertans. It is one of very few, if not the only organizations in Canada that provides free patient advocacy. We're unique in that way and in the way that we can support patients at one-on-one, in a one-on-one fashion and at in-person appointments and meetings. Gail and Heather will discuss our volunteer opportunities and the ways that we do support our clients. And that will allow you to help in understanding what we do as an organization. Our vision is that we strive to inform and empower individuals seeking support with the ultimate goal of experiencing the best possible healthcare. And our mission, as shown on the slide, is to provide free, impartial patient support and resources to Albertans through 4 avenues. One is through facilitating clear, productive communication between patients and healthcare professionals. Another is through empowering patients to ultimately self-advocate by providing educational and informative resources, helping patients navigate the healthcare system in order to achieve their healthcare goals, and 4, assisting healthcare professionals to provide the best possible patient care and to continuously improve the patient experience through recommendations based on our work and research. So I'm gonna just talk on who is a part of our organization so that you have an idea of all the volunteers that are behind the scenes and what our current kind of goals are, and then I'll hand it over to Gail. So Open Arms is a volunteer-run organization with everyone on the board of directors being a volunteer, and our patient advocates are volunteers. Our board currently has 11 directors that manage several departments, including advocacy, outreach, media, marketing, IT, volunteers, finances, and governance. And some of the items not listed there are ones where we're seeking people to fill in some roles. We do have one employee. She's our client and advocate consultant and our front office. She's been with Open Arms for over 5 years, and she's actually a great resource of knowledge about the organization and its previous initiatives. She also provides daily support to clients that call or email us. So what are our goals as an organization? Our current goal as an organization is to grow, which many of the organizations here today probably share in that goal in order to better support the community. We want to provide patient advocacy services to more people and increase our impact. We do, in order to do that, we have increased our marketing through social media channels and our outreach to other organizations such as the Cochrane Volunteer Fair to provide us with support in the community. So we are updating our website is one of big projects that we're doing right now, and that in doing so, we will be able to reach a larger audience. And we are also improving our behind the scenes processes to help our organization run more smoothly for the current board and for future volunteers. So that all being said, please visit our website at openarmsadvocacy.com and check back. You can visit it now to see our current website and check back in a month or so for our updated website, which will have more links and resources as well. So thank you. I'll hand it over to Gail now to better introduce our volunteer experience.
Thank you so much, Christina, and that was a great introduction to the organization for sure. So I'm sure everybody listening and seeing this can definitely feel the energy and passion we have for what we do and how important it is for us as an organization to get the right people in place to help support our clients, as well as from that growth angle, letting more people know that we're even here to support them through this process. So I joined the organization last summer, fall, as the volunteer coordinator, and I am also a member of the board. So far we've been bringing on new volunteers, and I've been improving some of the processes of what the, I wouldn't say improving so much as developing, getting it consistent, right, for our volunteers that come on. So what we're doing, we definitely, as Christina said, we're volunteer ran, except for the one consultant we have that is paid. And so to fulfill our mission, we definitely require volunteers. And we are very committed to our volunteers, and it's shown through everything we do, including offering you a strong volunteer program. I'm a dedicated volunteer coordinator whose main role is to support you. And so we strive to reply within 48 hours to inquiries or concerns. So if anything comes up as a volunteer, whatever, you can always reach out to me, and I have a 48-hour turnaround time. Ensuring all volunteers complete orientation and training for their role. So I really believe and I'm passionate about, you need the right training and orientation to understand what you're expected to do and how we do it, and to make sure you're that right organizational fit. And so we do a lot of training on the front end, orientation, regular communication throughout your time with us to keep you informed of what's happening within Open Arms, other opportunities, and to collect feedback on your experience with us. So of course, in that whole always striving to grow and be better, we're always also collecting feedback so that we can learn how to better serve you, and we all learn from each other. So you may be working or volunteering somewhere else and a great idea comes up, we always want to hear about it. Providing a detailed volunteer position description. So I think that back to that expectations piece, training and orientation, it's very important to have that detailed position description so that the clarity is there right from the beginning. When you're invited to become a volunteer with us, you're interviewed at least once. It depends on the department. Sometimes you meet with me, we do a video pre-screen, and then if it was for an advocate that I'm recommending, Heather would then do an interview. If it's a board position, then I'd meet with you, maybe Christina, and then we'd bring you to the board to be interviewed. So it just depends on the position a little bit, but there's more than one interview for sure. References are always checked, and a criminal record check needs to be done. We ensure our volunteers are the best possible to be working with our clients and fulfilling our mission. You are the face of the organization, and those that you come in touch with through your roles become what they think of Open Arms. So we really take that very seriously, and we need to make sure we're bringing the right people in who are also committed to the same thing and understand that. Also, we do tons of recognition and celebration. An example would be how our social media streams are filled with pictures of our volunteers during Volunteer Week, and always promoting and supporting them. We're looking at doing some volunteer spotlights and things like that this year. So just getting the schedules done and the pictures taken and get that all out. Opportunities to learn other areas of the organization, including our board of directors. So I really feel for a lot of people coming in, it's such an opportunity. Like being on a board of directors is a unique and challenging role for sure, but there's so much to learn about governance and policies and legislation and things like that, especially within a nonprofit. It's such an opportunity to learn that you can then apply in other organizations, as well as employers are sometimes looking for that. Like it also looks really good on our resume, honestly. And reference letters. So say we have somebody come in who's a student or something, and they're looking to get some volunteer hours, whatnot, we'll also give you reference letters. So that's kind of the volunteer experience so far. I just need to flip back over somewhere else to get to my next slide. Okay, so I would love to tell you about our current opportunities. So as of today, right now we're looking for some advocates. So I'm going to let Heather really talk about that, but our advocates walk beside our clients on their journey in the system. Ambassadors help spread the word about our organization. So I do have some people that I didn't have a role for them at the time, but I wanted to keep them engaged in the organization. So they're sharing our social media streams and whatnot out to their networks. So always looking for people to do that. And I love to make it a formal relationship. Fundraising director. So this is a big one. And I am sure every organization out there right now is looking for a fundraising person or to add to their team. So even if anybody has ideas on how to do some of that together, always want to talk. So we're looking for someone who can build our fundraising strategy and ensure our sustainability into the future. Membership director, this is one we've been working on the last few months, actually. We really are looking at changing this a bit to maybe a coordinator position so that that doesn't have the board level to start with. So I'll talk to anybody who's interested in this in any way, shape, or form to engage with our current membership base through newsletters, events, things like that, and help build and grow our membership. So we have a newsletter right now that should be going out quarterly, things like that, but we really just want to engage our members more. And you'd also have help writing the newsletter if you needed it, things like that. So anybody interested, please, we really want to fill that role right away. And outreach co-director. So we have co-directors for many of our board positions. And we have one leaving us who's actually a med student, so they're leaving us to pursue that. And our current director needs someone to co-chair it with them. So you would be a board member in that position, and you'd work alongside our outreach director to research and build our outreach services and capacity. So we're really just trying to get our name out there more, and a focused, strategic way of doing that will definitely help. It also involves presentations to the community. It's very diverse, tons and tons of fun. So if any of those sound interesting to you, I really hope that you'll reach out to us and we can talk soon. And I will now pass it over to Heather, who's going to talk about the fun of being an advocate. So I'm going to switch the slide here for you. Oh, I guess that's still our last one, but yeah, Heather's going to wing it for us.
Oh, hi, okay. Hi, everybody. As I said, my name is Heather Templeton, and I'm the advocate chair. I started with Open Arms 2.5 years ago as an advocate, and then was asked to step in as the advocate chair. We currently have 8 volunteers, and I believe 11 or 12 clients, and we're hoping that as we get our name out there, we can reach more people, because that is our goal, to help as many people as we can. As Gail said, the process starts with being kind of interviewed by Gail and then by myself, and that usually looks at scenarios and different situations so that I can be sure to, when we do get cases, that I'm able to give cases to advocates that can match really well with the client. We usually start out we get our intake or our clients through the website, or when you call the organization, and when decided, it will come to me, and I will assign to an advocate. And then the first step is to go through the case and to see where best we can help, questions to ask, those kinds of things. And then then I will pass it on to the advocate. We will chat and then decide where to go from there. And then the advocate will introduce themselves to the client. So we have, right now, a lot of our clients are dealing with mental health issues and finding resources. And this is one of the things that, with the outreach and with the advocates, we're able to find more resources and then be able to pass them on, because that seems to be one of the things, is that for any case is making sure we have resources. We also will go to appointments with clients if needed, so that the client has somebody there that can listen, that is kind of on the outside and not necessarily involved right in the situation. Because as we all know, when we're not feeling well, or we're frustrated with the system, having that other person to be able to sit in with you and not ask questions, but make sure that the questions that the client is going in with are being answered, is very important, because then they know that they're being heard. And when we leave from the appointment, then we will sit down, debrief, and make sure that everything has been answered, or resources are given, or those kinds of situations. We help write letters to different organizations like the College of Physicians and Surgeons or MLAs or other doctors. We help clients access their net care and their own personal information. We don't do anything to do with finances per se, or with or helping clients with finances. We will help them, or we will direct them to the proper organizations to help them with that. But we don't do that ourselves. We try very hard to make sure that we stay within the healthcare role, because that's what our main focus is. I'm trying to think of what else was on that slide. We do have monthly advocate meetings, which I believe are very important. It's a way for the advocates to get to know one another, to hear what different client situations are, and to help each other. We can't do this as a single person. We need to work together, because we all have our skill sets. And so what I might be skilled in, another advocate might not. So then it's being able to share those ideas, thoughts, resources. I'm also have begun implementing workshops for the advocates and for the board members. So we had a listening workshop this year, and I'm looking at doing another one with the founder of Open Arms that looks at working with people with mental health issues, because it can be very hard when you have so many different things going on, and it's affecting your mental health. And it's not just people that are suffering from all the different mental health diseases, but even ourselves, when we're anxious and depressed and in pain, that can also affect how we think. So I feel it's important that we understand as advocates how we can better support our clients. And that's truly the goal of any of the workshops that I want to implement, is that we are able to help our clients, also help each other. And because this is can be a very stressful position. And when you're working with people that can sometimes have higher ideas of and rely on you a lot, it's important to be able to talk to other advocates, to board chairs, to some of the other members, such as if we had 2 cases go to the media. So, and we do have a media coordinator that is wonderful and helps the client kind of understand what could be expected within the media. And so making sure that we're as skilled as possible is very important. And I hope to have more advocates soon. We've got more clients in Edmonton. We have some in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. And I know we would like to expand to the rest of Alberta as possible. So I hope to see some of you. And if you have any questions, my contact information is there as well. And please feel free to email me anytime. Thanks.
What a great introduction to Open Arms Patient Advocacy. I was really excited to hear all about you. I to be honest, didn't have a lot of information before, and now I feel like I have a lot more. You guys have such great opportunities for individuals in our community. Just a few quick questions. So we're wondering just what the time commitment is for an advocate.
So we ask for a year commitment, and during a case, there are some cases where you might work with your client once a week. There's other cases where you might talk to them every day. So in regards to how much you put in, like say during the week, depends on the client, but we do ask for at least I believe it's a 1-year commitment. Most of us get into it and we end up staying. So
perfect. I definitely can tell the passion for sure.
Can I add something super quick on the advocate role? Because that is one of our biggest areas for sure within the organization. Without the advocates, We could have as many clients that need help as possible, but we wouldn't be able to support them, right? It's important to differentiate, and Heather is so awesome at this, and it goes back to that position description that we go through during the process of coming on board. They're not counselors, like our advocates aren't counselors, they're not lawyers, that, you know, like maybe they are in their career, but they're not in this role with us. So Heather, can you maybe speak a little bit on where some of those lines are, that, you know, like when you say you might talk to your client every day, that is true, right? But maybe put a few parameters around what that might look like versus, you know, it might just be because they are upset or something. Like it just kind of a little bit about that, right?
Right, and that's right. We don't counsel our clients. We don't diagnose our clients, although we do have volunteers that could, because they are physicians and I was a nurse. So I try to ensure and instill that even if we have those skills, we can use them to a point, but like I said, we can't go over that by diagnosing. And the one thing that helps when you have those backgrounds is that when our client is talking to us about things, we understand what it is they're talking about. Or when we're talking with physicians and other members of the healthcare profession, they can sometimes use big words and forget that not everybody understands those words. So then we are able to sit down with the client and say, okay, this is what they were talking about, or ensuring that before we leave an appointment that the client understands. I did go to one where I made sure that she had all her questions answered before we left, because the doctor was not necessarily stopping and letting her ask her questions. So that's just one example. But I mean by contact every day is I can get an email from a client every day. It doesn't necessarily mean that I answer it back that day. But it could just be that this is what I found out from my doctor today. So it's just a kind of an update for me. Or like Gail says, you know, sometimes if they're in a bit of a emotional crisis, it's good to talk to somebody. And as an advocate, you know, you're there. I try and instill in them that and I will believe the client until I am proven different. So if I get a doctor's report and it's maybe a little bit different, that I can explain it to the client better so then they understand better. But it is very important to put up those boundaries. So that's where you can talk to the advocate or to the client and say, you know, I'm available to you from, you know, 9 to 5, Monday to Wednesday. You know, it just, like I said, it depends on the case. Sometimes you might only talk to your client once a month, just because, you know, they're waiting to hear back from a doctor, and that, as we know, can take a bit, especially when they're waiting for specialist appointments and that kind of thing. So, and I try very hard, like right now, some of our advocates only have one case, like I said, hoping to be able to increase that. But I try not to give people more than 2 at a time, because it can be, you know, a lot of work for some cases and not so for others. So, and like I said, it's just a matter of really you talking, or the advocate talking to the client, saying these are when I'm available and this is what my role is. And I try to send clients, when they first talk to advocates, to make sure that the advocate says, I am not here as a counselor, I'm not here to diagnose, I am just here to walk beside you, to help you fill out forms, get resources, those kinds of things. So I hope that answered your question, not too long a response.
It did. It helped. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Good.
Did we have any questions from the audience, Renata, or did you have any other questions you wanted to ask us?
No, we don't have any more questions on our end. I just want to thank you so much, you guys, for coming and presenting and teaching Cochrane and area all about your society. It's been such a great opportunity to get more information and to also learn how to get more involved. You have, like I said, you have some amazing opportunities. So again, if folks are interested in learning more, please reach out to Open Arms Patient Advocacy, and I can tell that they'd be certainly excited to take those calls and answer any questions that you might have.
And if I just say more,
I just wanted
Heather.
to say, if you do have your own personal if you need help from advocates or the organization for your own personal journey through the healthcare system, go online, fill out the intake form and go from there, because we are not here just to say, we're looking for volunteers or to fill it, but to also to let people know that we're there to help them personally. So.
And I think it speaks to our passion. We were all about to say the exact same thing. So thank you so much for having this today, Renata.
Yes, thank you.
And I'll stay online for a bit in case anybody wants to contact me directly.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.